Hey, what's up guys? I know it's been a very long time. I haven't been posting videos. I just been busy working, learning at work, and just trying to live life, you know? But it's just YouTube is very time consuming. It's a lot of editing, a lot of filming, spending money. I know you don't need to spend money, but for the car channels you kind of do. But anyways, as you guys can see in the title, I got a new Miata. I'm very excited for this new Miata. As you guys can see in the thumbnail, it's purple Merlot, I think. It's an M edition Miata, 1995, almost mint. I found it in the middle of nowhere, Georgia, for a pretty good price considering the parts it has. And I drove it like 3 hours, so yeah, I think it's pretty reliable considering it made it home. But I do think there's an issue along with the steering rack or in the suspension, because it does feel it feels a little weird when I turn to the right or I just make a sharp turn in general. I don't know what it is, but it's drivable. It's been my daily for a couple of days now, so I gotta figure that out. But of course, like we all car guys do, we start ordering shit that we don't need first, and then we start fixing. It's a bad habit, but I am gonna fix some things. I only bought some parts that are just gonna make the interior look a little better, and also the exterior. But first of all, let's go see the car. I'm gonna show you guys what it has at the moment, what I think that I'm gonna fix first. And I'm also not gonna spoil it because I really want to start doing YouTube again, and I want you guys to be excited as I am, because I'm planning to eventually take this car to the track. But first, I honestly just want to make it just a tad bit more reliable before I do that, because if not, it's just gonna break down at the track, and that's no fun. But enough talking, let's go see the car. Alrighty, so here we are in the car. I'm boiling. It's Georgia, summer. I'm literally dying in here. Anyways, let's start with the interior and then we'll go to the outside. Excuse me, I'm like sweating my balls off at the moment, but here we go. So as for the inside, we have the original Nardi shift knob, original e-brake handle, has an energy. It's so hot out this summer. Here goes the interior. First of all, we got the original Nardi shift knob with the handbrake, both wooden. They're pretty cool. I've always wanted an M edition Miata. I just could never find them, even back in the day when they were cheap. They were just not cheap. Because I was so young, so I couldn't afford, like, you know, an M edition. I could only afford the base model, which they were pretty cheap back then. So it has an energy steering wheel. I think it has new speakers on the doors. They're pretty good. But other than that, it's a pretty OEM interior. I love that about this car. I love the OEM look. I'm gonna try to keep the OEM look, but just you know, give a little bit of a twist. I did order a couple of parts for the interior, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I'm gonna do like a whole interior before and after. So make sure to stay up. I'm gonna do a whole before and after video on the new interior parts that are coming in. So I'm gonna try to make the interior look just a tad bit more fancy. Other than that, I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I don't know if these come stock, but there's these little bolts on my dash. This guy, I just feel like he's touched like every corner of this car. He knows this car very well. He had it for like 5 years. He had on the title, it said 2015. It's 2021. 5 to 6 years he had this car just laying there. From the oil that I changed this morning, it was awful. It was dark, but the car runs amazing. But yeah, I think it just turned even more darker, you know, coming here 3 hours with already used oil. That was just the cherry on top for it just to turn even darker. But other than that, I don't see any leaks or anything other than the steering rack, or I don't know what's wrong. It's drivable, but it does have a little bit of an issue when I turn to the right. Let's go outside of the car and explain to you guys the outside. Alrighty, so here is the outside of the car. It's pretty OEM. Has a stock BBS wheels, which is really sick. I honestly love these wheels, but I have new wheels just because I want to keep these mint condition. It does has the OEM mud guards. Has a top that came from another Miata. It looks a little darker of a purple. It looks like it got resprayed, but it's a defrost OEM hard top. It came with the spoiler. Came with the R-Spec. The guy said this was an R-Spec spoiler from a special edition. I'm probably gonna keep it because I love the OEM look on it. It's just the trunk got hit right here. It just got impacted. Honestly, it's not that bad. I already found one for $100. Gonna take out the spoiler, change out the trunk so it doesn't leak inside. And has a Racing Beat exhaust with Racing Beat headers. But yeah, I mean, the car is pretty OEM. It has a little intake for turning signal. I already have the other one inside. I'm gonna put on the other side. But for what I paid, it's honestly a mint condition Miata. Let me pop the hood real quick. If you're a Miata owner, you know that this shit gets hot as hell. Literally, when it's hot outside, it's like a burning steak, I swear. I haven't cleaned the engine bay, but this is how it came. The oil you see splattered is my fault. That was just me accidentally doing a turn on check this morning when I changed the oil. But aside from that, it has an upgraded cooling, has a radiator, the radiator hose, heater hose, the two hoses that he didn't want to put on because they were a little complicated to put on. I'm probably gonna put them on later on. It has Racing Beat intake. Has the 323, I think, Mazda valve cover, which is pretty dope. I've always wanted one of those. Has doesn't have the OEM ones. This is Koi on pack, or sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Whatever. I'm gonna put it in the screen right now, whatever they're called, because I'm just brain dead at the moment. But other than that, it's pretty OEM. Has ABS on it. It does need a refresh, just in general, like the brake system. I want to change. I want to add new fluids, take out the old coolant, new coolant, just regular maintenance like that. I've also ordered a new radiator overflow because this one is disgusting. I'm gonna take out this OEM catch can. So yeah, this is the car. I'm gonna be modding from now on. I did sell the G37, and yes, I'd rather have this than a G37. Don't judge me.